786-322-1105. Ryan Tannehill was addressing some questions yesterday with the media on SiriusXM and was asked about returning to the Titans. And he says, I like what we started there last year and the guys that were on the team, and I'd like to be back. We'll see what happens. Obviously, getting down to the last couple of weeks here, CBA and a lot of conversations go back on and forth, and you got to figure out where we are at. We'll see. It's going to be an exciting couple of weeks no matter what happens. So Tennessee, obviously, he had a great year last year in Tennessee. He goes, I learned a lot last year being in that situation. I was in last year where I was still under contract. I knew I wasn't going back to Miami, but I was still under contract. Couldn't really do anything. Free agency was open. I wasn't able to talk to any of the other teams or anything like that. They said basically, hey, we're going to try to trade you. My hands were tied. Just kind of had to sit there, and I learned a lot through that, just to be able to be patient and to wait. And then asked, he says, don't try to anticipate or worry about something you can't control. At this point, it's all just a matter of playing the waiting game. And with Ryan, it's an interesting waiting game, right? Because think about this. Tennessee trades for you. They give up the pick to get you. They don't start you, but they have you as a backup plan. Corner, then Mike Vrabel would have come out and said, he's our guy. Next year, I can't wait to get him back. That never came. So think about this. The guy that took over as GM last year for the Dolphins looked at Ryan Tannehill and said, he's not the answer. We got to move on, and traded him. The guy that acquired him and helped him get to the AFC Championship game looked at him and said, no, he's not the guy yet. So 8 years in the league, 2 different teams now. He finally had the most success he's ever had on a team last year, going to the playoffs, going deep into the playoffs, and yet that franchise does not look at him as the answer. So when Ryan says he's got to play the waiting game, he's also got to play that mental game that's going on in his mind. That, damn, dude, I had a great year, and yet these guys didn't believe in me. They didn't want to re-sign me. Why? I was excellent. But like yours truly and some other people out there, we kind of looked at it for what it was. He made a couple of throws in every game. But mainly it was Derrick Henry and that defense. That's what you were surviving on. That's what you were thriving on. It wasn't that Ryan was scaring defenses or anything like that. And so now he wants to return, but yet on the other side, he's not getting that same kind of love. And that's because Vrabel is like, well, you know what? I don't want to overcommit to this kid now because I may have better options. In Tom Brady, in Phillip Rivers. I don't know. I don't know if he's even thinking Phillip Rivers is a better option than Tannehill. Obviously, Brady is. I don't know. Are they even thinking Jameis Winston? Who knows? Maybe Vrabel's like, hey, we got the kind of running game that we don't have to have Jameis Winston throw it 40 times. In our offense, we only need him to make a couple throws, and Lord knows with that arm, he can make those throws. Who knows? But it's interesting that Ryan feels one way, and yet the team that he played for and got to the AFC Championship game has not returned that same kind of love, has not shown the same kind of enthusiasm about him returning. In fact, they've been quietly reserved. They've been very strategic with the way they've answered the questions about Ryan Tannehill. But at no point did they ever make a full-out commitment to Tannehill. Just, I found it, kind of intriguing that one side feels one way and yet the other side does not have that same feeling.